Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the She Women Show. Bananga, I want everyone to say to you, can you see me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? How is my network? Before I go any further, because I feel like I'm not on live. But how is everybody today? How are all of you, my favorite UNanians? Muli mutia, jemuli mwena. Banaye munyambe sharing a video. I know to judge just once a week. So mutwera biranti wetuli, but how can you forget Sarah Nabs? How is my people today in and around all over the globe? Welcome to the She Women Show. Welcome. Let's share. I'm giving everybody 1 minute for sharing. Can we share in your WhatsApp? In those WhatsApp groups omanyeze zimunga zinzo okunyiza abantu naye nga muteekamu bu link go and send them this link today. I'm calling all of my women today. I wanted us to start with a song about to motivate, to empower you, that he raises you up more than you can be. I'm talking to somebody who feels that wherever you are in life, you feel like you are so stuck in a rut that you cannot come out of. Today's main topic, as we go into the different things that we're going to talk about, let us think about, when all said and done, when everything is done, it is madness, ladies and gentlemen, to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Mukama ayagala kuturezinga up okubeera generation endala ekyusa eggwanga lyaffe. Mukama ayagala kukola ebintu bingi nnyo mu nsi muno naye abantu tebaagala change. We've refused to embrace change. And ladies and gentlemen, change cannot come when you are not ready, when you do not prepare, when you do not admit to yourself the importance of change, the importance of understanding who you are on humanity. Omuntu woba tomanyi kyoli, omulala agenda kudefininga ofuuke kye baagala. Era ng'Abawarabu bwe batukola abamu ne batuyisaamu, ng'Abazungu bwe batuyisaamu amaaso. Naye leero sirinzeka nga bwe bumanyi. Nina muganda wange kwe tukolagana ffenna, my best friend, my love, my everything. Her name is Sophia Sebbi. That smile, mugiraba mwe. Hey, Sophia, tuli wano today. Welcome to She. How are you, sis? How are you doing?
I am well, I am blessed, I am good, I'm empowered, I'm inspired, and I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to serve Ugandans. I'm ready to serve those who are heartbroken. I'm ready to serve those who need inspiration, motivation. Tuli wano tubalinze, namwe mutulinze, mwebale nnyo okubeera naffe bannange. We appreciate you. Tubebaza nnyo kubeera nga musupportinga UNN kubanga it's about connecting the dots. It's about connecting the dots. Tekitegeeza kubeera wano kuba spectator. No, hashtag I'm not a spectator. Muli mutya mwenna, muliyo, nimbaramusya mwena, abanyankole, ab'embarara, abarukunjiri, ababushenyi, wherever you are, the Nubians, Bombo, I appreciate you all. Kabarasun, mwena, Central Uganda, Busoga, all our foot soldiers, ababadde ku show in the past couple of days. We appreciate you, all the UNN team. Mwebale mnonga. Tuli aha tuza kubawa ebigambo. we're here to give you words of encouragement. We're here to support you, give you that moral support. Okubagamba nti no tuli namwe, okubagamba nti no tuli fenna tulina okukwataganira wamu, collectivism. We need to be together to be able to inspire each other and make the change we want. Let no one tell us how to change. We need to tell ourselves how to change. How do we do
Rewrite.
that?
We can rewrite our story again. I think a
Imagine
lot
that.
of us don't realize, Inti, you can start again. The day the dawn comes and the morning bright comes, you can start again. For as long as you are still alive on this earth, tewali chota sobola okuchusa. Let nobody ever tell you that you can do bad and you can change that. You don't judge people based on who they were 10 years ago. You can if you want, of course. We do it. We do it all the time. We do it. A lot of us in humanity, we don't forgive. We can become bitter. There are a lot of emotions. Tonight. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's show. Leero tulina ebintu bingi bye tugenda okwogerako era njagala mufune ka pen ne paper. Ate, not only that, but today is a therapy day for us. We want to come here where ladies, your najemuli open wide. I want us to have an interactive show and get yourselves ready because we want your phone calls. We want your audios. Today, we're going to give you ladies time. Yes, we're not abali in Middle East. We're not jamuli all over the globe. You come and speak what is on your heart. I want to apologize. I want to apologize to some of the women who are in our contact and are trying to contact us. You have for support, for help, and different things that you're going through. Please understand that we have so many people trying to come through and saying different things and wanting different support and help. And we have to make sure that we do our due diligence and make sure that we information flow is accurate. But we have not forgot about you. We love you. And I'm telling you, we are working on things. We are still getting ourselves together as an organization and then also coming out. So mutuwe chance. Naye nga ebintu bingi bye twagala okukola naye twagala bikola mu butuufu. Tetwagala kola bintu biribeera undercover. Kakati mutuyambe tusobole okubeera naffe transparent, tubeere accountable. Tetwagala kujja wano tubeere nga tubasaba ssente baviwa baffe ng'ate naffe tetubawa accountability ebintu bwe bitambula. So tulina okubeera nga tukola our due diligence we tujja wano ne tubasaba. Nga bwe mbadde mbagamba era nabagamba last week, abakyala ababeera so lovely ne mujja in my private messages, ne mu making a contact with Paul to request for supporting the woman who was pregnant and the woman with the son with the brain tumor, or the mwana wa brain tumor achaliyo naye tumulinda. But doctor bamukebera bagamba nti nga tebanaba kutandika kukola operation waliwo tube gye bateekamu omwana babeere nga bamugyamu amazzi ago. So tukyalinda ekyo kigende maaso. Of course yeetaaga obuyambi naye mpola mpola tubadde tumuyamba. Omukyala yali olubuto ng'alina twins, omwami we yali part of Chitalia, of course yafuluma. Njagala baleeterayo ka story bulungi nga njogedde ne both mother and father, era ejja kujja very soon. Mulabe kuba twins, they look so beautiful, they are so cute. She had her twins, and it's because of some of you who have really, our viewers who have supported this lady. because she wouldn't have done it. Omwami abadde tajja kusobola kumuyamba mukyala we because yakava out of prison, and he needs a lot of support as well mentally. So we are trying to support the family, and anybody who wants to support, you are free to contact us, because fete tukola bintu undercover, twagala bintu byaffe to be very transparent. So thank you again for all of you who are giving. Other highlights, any other updates? Sophia, what's been going on this week? Omani, this week I've been so busy, and I so many people have mental health problems. So many people COVID efuse COVID. Temuloza nti namwe mulala muleyo ebulaya Uganda nti COVID abafukidde. Nemuwano kati ebulaya COVID ebafukidde naye in different ways. I'm not going to tell you I'll tell you a little bit of my personal opinion on what I think about this whole COVID situation. But before I go any further, Sophia, have you seen a video about the key? Chala another key of where she had a vaccination, and she put a key on the vaccination.
Oh yes.
Have you seen the video?
I've seen the video. Naye, before we go in further, Vanangi, first of all, I suppose we need to send our love and our thoughts and prayers to those abafiridwa abantu baabwe, because I've been hearing abantu dropping her like flies, Sarah, and and also our own Hanifa lost her mother, and I believe there's also another lady who's been I believe Prince Gwabada are contacting her about losing her mother as well. We really feel for you. You're in our prayers always, because it can happen to anyone, and especially when it comes to Uganda, Ngabali, Uganda, it can happen anytime, because first of all, there's no healthcare system you're trusting. So first off, that in itself is a worry. Ndoza nokufa tebafa necessarily COVID, because COVID, has been reported not to necessarily kill people, but they die because the lack of the attention, the lack of healthcare system in Uganda, it's non-existent. In Uganda, Chirinti, it's a private enterprise. It's a money-making scheme where abantu bafa because lack of care, lack of attention. Before nga tonagenda mu ddwaliro lyonna bagenda kusaba sokolete million meka. Now it does about up to even 10 million. Imagine that nga yensi gye twagala okubeeramu. Imagine that. I'm smiling, but it's not really necessarily until it's a good smile or I'm happy about it.
No, definitely.
But it's a very disheartening, very I can't explain it with words. Kubanga ekintu ekigenda maaso kuba nti no tufiirwa abantu baffe for the lack of the silliness of our leaders. The leaders bo beefaako bokka kati private healthcare yabeera privatized, which means omuntu wa wansi ali kuki. Later on, atawana kufuna the next meal the next day. Atawana kufuna the next meal kati atalowooze, they just having that pressure of the psychological torture eyogamba nti bana emmere egenda kuba bannange abantu baffe tugenda kubatwala tutya mu ddwaliro. On top of that, the restrictions ezabateekeddwako nti you need to have a permit to probably go and take your loved one to hospital. Oyinza n'okusanga eyo nayo gundi eri awo, because first of all, you must know someone must know someone. You must be someone who's known. Kati those people that don't have a voice, those people, olaba bana balina akasente, they're still dropping.
They don't. They don't have a voice. So that's why it's so important, because the majority, let's tell the truth, is that the majority of our Ugandan people, first of all, are probably not accessing even things like Facebook and stuff like that. I was talking to a friend of mine who got sick in Uganda 3 weeks ago. He got COVID. And he said, Sarah, the truth is COVID jali. Naye kati waliwo bye batabalaga. Nti fe aba kati fete we cannot even afford ogenda mu marwaliro ago tetulina ssente ezo. Seera tugenda mu bufo bwaffe badokita baffe ababeera ku kyalo n'akuwa medicine n'akuwa which one what's the main sorry guys queen you know
quinine?
the not quinine, there's another
chloroquine.
one chloroquine bamwa chloroquine and there's another medication omulala gye and paracetamol. And more than anything, our natural herbs. Era abaana bangi abagamba nti ffe bwe tubadde tulwala we can't afford ogenda mu malwaliro ffe tugenda ne tujanjaba ekintu era if you noticed era abagenda mu malwaliro ate be babavaayo ate nga ne bafa ng'ate already osasudde miliyoni nga mmeka oba wagenze n'okwata vaccination. Are vaccinations free of charge?
No, I don't think they're free of charge. Isn't it something like 300,000?
So they are charging. They're actually milking even in the midst of what together. Nayenga teche ba milkinga. Kati atenga abantu abazungu bano banake. Topic eno tujireke. Nayenze chenga enoko ekintu kino ekya COVID. Nze kyembabuulira bannayuganda, my fellow black people, and I'm going to say this in English, my fellow black people all over the globe. Look after yourself. COVID is another very strong flu. Do not just listen to mainstream media. Do research. There is a remnant of people who are not on the same agenda as the world agenda. Temumala gatwala COVID nemugamba nti nemumala gachibudu omuzungu yagambye COVID kakati bwetu kati maski kati kino kati kiri mwebereremu waliwo nze I'm talking like this and I'm a living testimony. Twalwala la COVID mu nyumba yaffe ate nga ffe abamu nga tuli ill with underlying health issues. Mbegayiridde, do the necessary research. Don't just take a vaccine because bakugambye Pfizer is the best one, no twala vaccine. Make sure mu findings out vaccine bazitadde wa, bazistoringa wa. Waliwo engeri gye balina okustoringa that medication. Waliwo engeri gye bali supposed okugitransportinga. There is a certain period of time you're supposed to use a vaccine.
Apparently, eze Uganda ziri expired.
Exactly. Ate nga bagenda kukikola bulungi mbabuulire. Nothing just comes from nowhere. There's no smoke without fire. That's what I was looking for.
And no one gives you something for free. By the way, bagamba biri free kati, there's a correction here around the charges of the vaccine. Apparently it's free. It's only the testing that's 300,000. Nayenga, nothing comes for free. I think historically Africans have been apparently given free things. But free things, where are we now?
HIV.
Free things on what?
HIV and AIDS.
Duachi mutuwa free things all the time. Why can't we be the ones to afford the things?
Exactly. Why can't we get our own scientists?
We
Why
need
do
to
we
have
need to
the
get all those
environmental,
Uh-huh.
we need to be able to be given, to be empowered to actually afford the things.
But you know why it's
Environment,
like that?
yeah. The leaders have made it out that, here we go, all the time to Vedamu, my goodness, we're victims. Come and help us, please. Come and help us. Why are we in this victim mindset all the time? Batulaze, World Vision will come and help us. America will come and rescue us. Why is it that the West is the one rescuing us all the time? Why can't we be empowered enough to not need the handouts?
So apparently it's the vaccines are free, but to
Yeah.
get a COVID test, you have to pay at least 300K.
Yeah.
Abana baranira oxygen. Atenga ne oxygen oyo ayinza n'okubeera nga sina mutuufu. Mulabeka video kano ak'omukazi ng'alwanira oxygen.
Mommy, so standing, mommy. Mommy, first stand. They have magnets in their bodies. Are we safe?
Mommy, first try this. Move in that video. I'm a victim. Mommy, try to move it. The vaccine that is to immunize Ugandans, there is a country that used it. Mommy, try to move it. Maybe that lady is trying to get it stuck. Vaccinated when they were vaccinated. Chris got rubella. Mommy, can you move it? They've said removing it is not easy.
Removing it, it's not easy.
But is it getting off?
Are we safe? Eringa magnet yenyine agawalai.
I mean, sometimes
Bannayuganda, nabadde njagala naye sikiwadde our producer on time okubabuulira. Has anybody actually gone to check the ingredients of what is in some of these vaccines? Mumanyi ebintu bye babateeramu. Mumanyi what it is. Have you ever gone and really asked yourself what is in these vaccines? Does anyone actually know what an mRNA is? Bannayuganda, babateeramu ebyuma mu zi vaccine ezo. Let me just, an mRNA, this is one of the, I'm just telling you one of the ingredients that is in these vaccines, is a single-stranded mRNA molecule. Mwabali scientists simwe mubimanyi okusinga. The city scientist that is complementary to one of the DNA strands of a gene. The mRNA is a RNA version of the gene that leaves the cell nucleus and moves to a cytoplasm where proteins are made. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, we are dealing with inserting a DNA cell or molecule. Let me not even go any further because I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I'm just here, just giving my humble opinion. Ugandans, please, this is serious. It's killing our mothers, our fathers, our young brothers and sisters. It's killing our Ugandan nation. Naye, with lack of diligence, with lack of due diligence from our government going down. You as a human being living in Uganda, nkwegayiridde tuve ku bya politics tulooze ku bulamu bw'omuntu wa wansi. Let's protect one another. Sophia, okatako chikuchecho to moving it on.
You mean it tuchari kucha COVID?
Yeah, after those videos.
Yeah, I think the scramble for
Oxygen.
health, it just looks like we're scrambling for, I don't know how to, kwegamba,
2021.
That's
Kwegamba 2021.
ebyembi bisekebwa only in Uganda. Okuba nti no to scrambling for things like oxygen, really. So what will happen if we happen to need food? Imagine tugenda nga Prince bwe yagambye tugenda kwekola ki? Tugenda kwerya.
Tugenda ngapo nga tweri kubanga.
Kubanga honestly, this is just unbelievable. Okuba nti no tuli mu 21st century, tucha scrambling for things like oxygen in Africa, where we have the most probably polluted free air. Tuina all the natural sort of herbs and stuff, right? To be able to help ourselves. Na yera tulimweyo sort of mindset gamanti something else, some other sort of an outside thing will come and help us. The mindset of having an outsider coming to help us, the oxygen, which is the this whole man-made or manufactured, will help us. Instead of saying, maybe I should go back to the village to have more better air to breathe. Maybe I should go and harvest all those natural herbs. Ezali zikola edda. I remember edda bwe twayinanga ebifuba nga tulina senyiga, jjajja yagenda nga n'afuna ebikola by'emiyembe, by'amapeera, I mean as in mangoes and guavas, and then n'abifumba ne tunywa, tetwagulanga ddagala nti tugenda gula ddagala lya kifuba. What essentially is that with COVID is something to do with your breathing, with your lungs. So it's about making sure that your immune system is very, very, not very, very strong anyway. I don't know, I'm not a medical doctor, but it's up to scratch. Up to scratch how? Immune system up to scratch from you being polluted, in pollution-free zones. You being able that you have enough sleep. You being able that you're mentally okay and not able to, not thinking so much, because mental health ne physical health bikwatagana. So as much as you think that your mental health is removed from your physical and how your organs work, you've got another thing coming. You really need to understand the mental health and physical health begin hand in hand. Mental health, you were okay, it's bound to impact on your physical health, nga lungs, nga liver, nga your whole immune system, you know, ejja kuba tekola bulungi. Bw'oba tewebaka bulungi, ejja kulaba nti no, you're not functioning properly during the day. Bw'oba ng'olowooza all the time bannange security teri okay, kati nga wano tulina, you know, police ekuba abantu, ogenda bwe bakusanga ku luguudo weetundira akantu, police ezeeyiye ebintu byo. That's security. That is a form of security. If you don't have that feeling of security, which is what I understand our Ugandan community back home, we truly tetuina security, we don't feel secure inside ourselves and around ourselves. The people that are supposed to protect us are the people that torture us, people that subject us to abuse, physical and mental abuse.
This is real physical and mental abuse day in daylight.
Yeah. So imagine omuntu wawansi anoonya ekyokulya, kati waliwo bano abakyala benalaba abali mu market. Abali mu market nti bojja babagambye basule kubanga omuntu agambye nti they're not allowed to go back and forth to their homes. So how are they going to be? Of course, bagenda succumbing to COVID probably, to the elements outside kubanga empewo ebayita
ebirala byennyini bigenda kubatta. I saw that in the week, right? Yes, nga bali mu marketplace somewhere nga bakoze obuntu.
Babies obuvera or something
like that. What is going on in our country, Ugandans? Why are we allowing this man to succumb us to this level? No. Ladies and gentlemen, we need change. And change has to start from the inside. Change has to start with you and me. Mindset is, and that's why we have to keep coming and repeating ourselves, because there are so many things action. That's why Chimbugo, every day we are bringing people, the same people every day, to come back and keep on until mindset eri jebaba take in 40 years nebatwala our parents nze nkugambye our aunties and parents. I'm sure my mom's listening to this right now. You can tell, even after you're telling her that this is what is going on, this is what's there, this is what's on ground, this is the evidence. Omuna Uganda era amaliriza nga takkiriza nga tabelievinga abantu banaaba basooka kumala bameka okukyusa mindset yeno bannange. Mindset zirina okukyuka. We cannot, bannange, it's madness. We keep doing the same thing year in and year out. Every election term, we say the same things. They come and tell us the same story, the same strategy the man has used, and it has worked for him because he knows Ugandans and how predictable we are. Can we change that? I mean, talking of predictability, moving on to our next highlight quickly before we start our top emotional intelligence, our slides in a few moments, is I didn't understand what he was saying. I understood.
Before
yes, let's see it to demo fenatu kalabe, because sategede. What are you trying to say, Mr. Tumwine? Like, let us watch. Namwe mutubulire mwakirozezaako ki.
Tusooke tulabe bano abakyala abali mu market betwogeddeko.
Okay, tulina video, yeah? Okay, that's great. Okay.
Katsoke tulabaako tulabe.
All right.
Tuli wano mu Kaleerwe kugezaako kutunulira engeri bannayuganda gye batandiseemu omuggalo gw'ennaku 42 omukulembeze gw'eggwanga Yoweri Museveni nti bwabulwa Kaguta gwe yalangidde olunaku olwajjo ogutandise olunaku olwaleero. Mulimu ku biragiro pulezidenti bye yawadde mwe mwabadde okulagira abantu abakola mu butale okubeera nga tebaddayo mu maka gaabwe wabula babeera nga bazze ku makya okukola mu katale basuuliremu ddala okumala ennaku 42 nga tebalaba kuba mu maka gaabwe. Kitwagala okumanya olunaku olwaleero olunaku luno balutandise batya bazze naki gavumenti oba yobairawo yabasudde omukono okubaako kyebawo okubeera nga batandika okubeera mu katale okuba ennaku 42 nazo size ennaku etono nnyo oba zitunulidde. Abakyala bano abamu babano bamaze dde okutuuka mu ifo bagenda okubeera nga basula bamaze okweteekateeka bamaze dde okwala obuliri bwabwe kadde kano bamaze okulya ekyeggulira bagenda kwebaka. Maama amanyako gwani?
Aina Masiko Caroline.
Olunaku olutandise otya weteeseteese otya?
Olunaku si lwangu kubanga mune mbadde manyidde okusula ewange tugenda kusula mu katale siina katimba siina ngenda ola n'ebiseera kitundubala kye ngenda okwebika okungaadingako.
Kati mu mbeera eno ne kuli wasula mu katale?
Luli saasulamu. Saasulamu.
Kati ku luno osibira kumalako otya tolwale okusula ku bibawo wogenda okusula?
Ebyo byonna mbyeraliikira kubanga ensiri ekisooka ensiri nyingi ate siina katimba ate nsula ku bibaawo n'ebise kitundubaale obulamu si bwangu.
Gavumenti oba omukulembeze waliwo kye babasindikiddeyo okulaba nti mutandikirako ennaku 82?
Yagambye bagenda tuwa obutimba naye era butimba bwe bagenda otuwa naye tewali kirala kiri awo kyamaanyi.
Kale katugezeeko okufuna ku balala. Waliwo omukyala wano ye yamaze dde okwezinga mu kutiya ze okubeera nga yeebaka olunaku olwaleero lusookedde ddala naye we yeebase talinaawo katimba kansiri talinaawo oba kafaliso oba akyawulira teyeebase. Maama owulira?
Mpulira.
Weebise?
Neebisse tondaba bwe neebisse.
Sooka oveeyo tukulabeko.
Ate nzuukuke.
Ezuukuka tulabe olwese kulabeko. Osula mu kutiya toziyire.
Kutiya eriko ekituli mwenzisiza mpola mpola. Ate bajjajja yatugambe tubeere mu katale. Tuleme kukwatibwa bulwadde.
Mu katale ogenda kubeera mutya kuba ndaba kutiya esiri zigenda kukuluma.
Kati eno bulangiti oyambala ne weebaka ku mufaliso.
Obulamu ogenda butambuza otya ennaku 42 ng'osula bw'otyo?
Naleese omufaliso guugwo bukutya ne webugoogwa ne weebaka muno mulimu kibeedi kava bagenda kumbiika nze nga ndi muno munda eno ye neeti.
Abakyala mwekuumye mutya mu mbeera eno kuba ndaba mulimu abasajja ab'ebikula ebyenjawulo buli omu ali bibyono?
Abasajja boola bonna basirikale. Woyingirira wali nga toyina masiki era bakubuza ddayo ng'ofuluma.
Olowooza omukulembeze okuleeta kino ekyokusula mu katale olowooza yandikoze eki okusobola okulaba nga baprotectinga naye nga namwe temukoseddwa nnyo?
Yandisose n'atuwa emmere n'atuwa ne ku ssente awo ne bwani yatugambye mutuule waka twandituddeyo naye talina kye yatuwadde ate mutuule waka tulina kubeera mu eno mbeera ye gy'atwagaza.
Agezaako kubakuuma.
Atukuumye naye nga tetulina byakulya yadde buyambi yandituwadde waakiri obutimba ne tugumirako naye kano akatimba kati ke kakutiya koyambala ne weebaka n'ensiri n'etakuluma.
Afuneyo omukyala omu wano naye kakwagaliza ekiro ekirungi mu kadeeya. Waliwo omukyala omulala naye naye amaze dde okuteekateeka akadeeya ke wagenda okubeera ng'asula. Maama ekiro kyetekeddetekedde otya?
Ekiro nteekeddeko.
Nabanga empewo ekedde okuyitamu.
Empewo enfuuwa kintu ky'otamanyiira. Empewo enfuuwa naye siina kyakukola nina kuguma.
Kati abeeka
nabaleseeyo.
bali batya?
Bye bali balungi naye tubeera wano nga yadde tusuze wano naye tubeera tweraliikirira abaana ba buwala. Tweraliikirira kiwulira abaana tebasoma naye ne bw'oba ng'osuze wano mwene embeera gye tulimu ng'omwana wo ali ku ssomero obeera safe naye abaana tubaleka mu nju bokka olw'okuba embeera gye tulimu. Nze neebaka wano naye sinneebaka, tufeera tutunaba kwebaka, tujja kwebakayo nga ssaawa 8.
Olowooza omukulembeze kyakoze kirungi eri obulamu bwammwe?
Si kirungi. Nze ku sayidi yange si kirungi. Simanyi oba abalala kirungi naye nze ku sayidi yange si kirungi.
Lwaki ogamba si kirungi?
Olw'ensonga okutugirawo entambula ate ye kennyini n'atulagira twebake mu katale, kitegeeza ki bannange ekyo? Nze ku lwange sinnakitegeera kye kitegeeza.
Alina ke yabawaddeyo?
Ate akayina omwaka guli yatusibira era entambula n'atusibira ewaka. Abamu tetwafuna kawunga naye te nga tulina abaana era twatambuzanga ebigere ne tujja naye kati tetusobola kutambula. Nze nsula Kawanda.
Olowooza yandikoze ki okusinga obutaba okubasibira mu katale?
Yandisoose n'atuwa ebyokukozesa, n'atuwa obutimba, n'atuwa ne ku ssente ebyokulya kyentegeeza ne bw'atandituwadde ssente n'atuwa ebyokulya. Naye kati tuneebaka mu nnyumba, abaana baffe bagenda kulya ki? Abaana tugenda bbawa ki mukwano?
Kale eyo embeera abakyala abazze okusula mu katale wano Kaleerwe gye balimu abamu.
Munsonyiwe, I'm shocked because I'd not seen the whole entire video. I'd seen the First Lady, a little bit of it. Now, I don't understand. Sophia, can you please make me understand? In most parts. That is, you're taking away someone's basic need.
Yeah.
You're taking away someone's basic right to live because of COVID. That's not right. That is not right. And the government, and there's no one talking. How many have they hired? They've hired how many people are in the government? Where is the so-called NUP? I'm sorry.
They're over 500 something.
Oh, Sophia, I don't know what's happened. Something's happened. Or back to your audio, your sound. It sounds a little bit weird.
Okay. 1 second.
This is pure utter abuse of the highest order. Abakyala ne musirika omusajja ono asuze abakyala, omukazi abagambye balese abaana ewaka. No, na Uganda nedda bannange, mwagala ki? Kiki kye mwagala okukola? Mwe benna aba so-called opposition namwe ne mulabanga government we're deciding nze okuhandlinga situations zino namwe ne mukkiriza. Olaba ffe wano tujjawo aba homeless the best way we can. Ffe organizations zaffe kati ng'eyange ya mental health center and recovery cafe batukkiriza openinga ebifo bino bibeere open so that omuntu ali homeless asobola accessinga some form of need. Sophie, when there was a lockdown in Bulaya, they took the homeless people off the streets and put them in hotels. Even if it was just 30 days, for those 30 days, because some homeless people, they're so used to being homeless that they don't even want to be in those rooms.
Yeah. Obviously, Sarah, truly very far off from where UK is, yeah? We're far off.
I know, but
can you hear me?
No, I can hear you, Soph, but I know what you're about to say, we are far off. But what I'm saying is, it's a humane thing. We are in 2021, Sophie. It does not take anybody with a little bit of money or a car funda, a car hostel, buno lodge. Atoba tugenda ne tusasula okwebaka n'abasajja n'abakazi mu hostel. No sasula 50K. Gavumenti tesobola kutekinga abaana abakyala bano ne batwera mu hosteru miliyoni emu
Sarah, human
Sophie.
sense, common
Chiruma,
sense
sorry.
is not common.
Chiruma.
It's so heartbreaking. Nti abantu baffe, we are living like slaves. It's so heartbreaking. I know maybe abasinga balooza kale tuli eno ffe tubeera ku just ku mikutu. Naye the bottom line is that someone has to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. Okay, that's the bottom line. We cannot all be in the same position. We cannot all have the same situation. We cannot all live the same lives because God has given us different paths. Tetugenda kubeera kale nga tu excuse nga tugamba mutusonyiwe because we're living this life. Unfortunately, the world is unfair like that. Nayenga, what we will not be doing is that we will not stop shouting, screaming, and speaking up. We'll continue to show shocking stories so that we can get people into action. Ugandans, tetusobola toyina kubeera na ssente gamba nti kanyambe neighbor wange with salt. It's just our moral duty. Kwegamba values zaffe zaagendera ddala, values ze twalina ffe, you know, I mean, abamu ze twakuliramu n'ogamba nti bannaye neighbor yajja kangende wa neighbor mpe ku salt. Maybe kangende wa neighbor ansulize ku baana bano. Maybe, you know, oba ba neighbor ne baleeta bonna nti baleese bakuŋŋaaniddeko for olumbe, baleese oli afumba kinoono, bonna balina emirimu gyabwe ne bayamba nti because for the good of the community. But as long as we stopped saying, or we stopped living for the good of the community, the greater good, the good for all, and we're living for the good for ourselves, buli omu ng'ayagala kintu kye kibeere mu pocket, me and my stomach, that's where we've lost it. We've lost it tukiluzinza okuba nti nno buli omu yalooza nti nedda nze njagala ku chasing that dream. I want to have the best house, I want to have the best car, I want to have to eat in the best restaurants. Okuva lwe twatandika ekintu kya Western society where you live in an individualistic society and not a collective society, this is where we are. We are where we are because we stopped caring for each other. Unfortunately, we don't have the social care system because these are all roles of social care. Like Walo Allen Chizitomo comments agami ntino, never social workers in Uganda, they don't have a role. The government does not even see them as you know, as the as part of the workforce. Most social work is done by, you know, NGOs. Why is it that social workers are being, you know, atoba mwasomesa abana basoma muina, you know, so many universities, abana basomi. Why is it that you're not using the workforce to effect change, to be the anthropologists that we need to be? We need to be able to say, enough is enough. I'm going to look at my neighbor. We're going to go back in this community hub, in this community care, so that we can get sort of help each other. Now, yeah, the irony of it is that the government is actually coming out to sabotage the work of the community workers. This is the irony of it. So you can see that their purpose and intention is not for the good of Ugandans or the citizens. The purpose is to make us wallow in our despair, you know, to be in this poor, to be paupers. If you understand, this is how the Western world was very many years ago, over 100 years ago, where that's why they developed this social care system, welfare system, following the poor law. And in Uganda, tuchalimu back in, I mean, come on, we're 100 years behind. Because where is it that, you know, a minister, yagala okujja mu katale, president, yagala okujja mu katale, agamba abakatale how to live their life. What they should do and what they shouldn't do. What happened to the councillors? What happened to the LCs? What happened to the MPs? What is the role of those people? it's disheartening. It's anyway. We have a long way. Yeah.
Hi guys, sorry, I don't know what happened to my phone. I needed to sort out my laptop. My laptop, sorry, so I do apologize. I'm back. This is very weird because Sophie was talking and then it came back onto Mutusonyi with little technical fault. There we are. Sophia,
yeah, we have a long way to go, and Ugandans, we need to go back to basics of caring for thy neighbor. We need to strip it all back. Ngabwe twagamba reinventing yourself, stripping it all back. We need to completely go back to basics. You can't go and defend community. Let's get together. Churches tebali mu church. Why aren't they providing the churches which are probably close by? There's a church on every street probably in Uganda now. So what happened? Why can't they use those churches as part of the rescue and response? The response to COVID. Why can't people use their common sense and say, oh, you know what? No, kati abantu bajja kusula mu church because kati tebasobola kuddayoka. We acknowledge that there's no transport system. Not many people have private cars, so we can continue to support each other. It's about supporting the community. It does not need millions and millions of money. That we can actually think about thy neighbor.
Millions of money. But all of this is learned behavior, because clearly we did not learn. We have been in survival mode for 45 years, where a man has taught us a mindset of constant survival of the fittest. That's the mindset. I must take care of me. I must take care of my little decimal of land, my 50 by 50 decimals of land, my 1 acre. No, I have to buy land. When I buy my land, I have my connections. When my family's got a job, I have my connections. When we have someone is sick, we have connections. The basic needs in every country should have access to free service for those who cannot afford to pay for the luxury. That is a standard in every country. But Africa has been put down so much. It's not because we cannot put the systems together. It is simple. It is a government thing. But the government are in government and they are people. See, that's why it's having a political arena or government is not the problem. The problem is the people in the government. The same way the church or God is not the problem, like so many people keep blaming God for the wrongdoing and the wrong things that are going on in Uganda or in the world. But they're not realizing God is not the problem. We are the problem. God still uses people. He put a law on earth. You have the power is within you. Yawawa chebaita willpower. It's a law. Ngabwe tulina gravity munsi compared to when you go in the sky and in the universe. There's up there, you float in the sky. Here, obera mu air, ogenda guaranteed ojja kugwa wansi. That is the law. Ngabwe batugamba the law of attraction, the law of this. Bannanga bana Uganda. Mindset zirina okukyuka. Gwe omuntu gwe Mukama yakuwa amaanyi naye ate n'akkiriza ne Sitaani because of Eve okujja mu nsi, kati akuwa gwe okusalawo, gw'osalawo ky'oyagala okulaba mu bulamu, gw'osalawo bw'oyagala okulaba buli kimu, kiki ky'oyagala okukola. Bw'oba oyagala kubeera munene n'ogejja n'otuuka eri kisoboka, bw'oba oyagala kubeera skinny paka kisoboka. Bwe muba mwagala Uganda esigale bweri because mutya okukyusa strategies ze mubadde mukozesa, tugenda kusigala for another 100 years. Abaana baffe abato era jumping into the same generation and mindset, because generation that 80% of our population who are supposed to be the youth now are the ones who we should have changed their mindsets. Naye mama baffe tebatukiriza kutuyigiriza mindset eyo, basigala mu survival mode, ne basigala mu kutya, ne basigala mu fear. Kati fear governs your movements in Uganda. That has to change. And we, the she ladies, because we said we've gone back to that same square, that is what we need to do. Changing topics. One of our last issues was this very video we are talking about. So let's play the video first and then we discuss it. We are talking about the people in government. 7 months ago or 6 months ago, someone said something else. 6 months later, he's changed his mind and he's saying something else. That is human beings. Let us take this video if we can, please.
I think he knows that I am not after these positions that people clamor for, and perhaps that's why he would rather take care of his political interests of balancing here and there. And I remain a freedom fighter, and I admire him and thank him as my teacher, my mentor, my leader, and my hero. I will continue to give him my genuine support and advice. And to me now, I think the best advice we can give him is prepare for a smooth transition so that we ensure stability and long-term peace for the long future. You know, it should be our duty to save him from being Ngambanyenka. Wanyakwede have a proverb, Ngambanyeka nyukamaru mavi, that the one who does not take advice brews some bad beer. But we should save the president that problem. Or we should save him. There is a disease diagnosed by political scientists and psychologists that called hubris syndrome. It's our duty to help him not to have that problem, because it is the advice that we give him that will help him to do his work with everybody else and better than he would otherwise done if he was alone.
There's the same person 6 months ago eyali atugamba ekirala nga bwagenda okutushutinga n'otukilinga wetuba tetukoze kye batubuulidde. Kakati oze ssebo oba owa your resignation era ndowooza giweeyo oba ebadde resignation. I hope it was. Ozo tunnyonnyolanga omuntu akuteachinze and you're very thankful for him teaching you to be a freedom fighter. Naye Uganda, do these people actually know what a freedom fighter is? Do they actually
freedom have they fought for?
Do they actually know what freedom fighting is? Mr. Tumwine, and whatever with all the respect I want to give you for serving in the government of United Kingdom, I would like to say
Of Uganda.
you are not of Uganda. You are not going to be exempt for paying the price and paying the punishment of brutalizing our fellow Ugandans. It's good you've started to see inti wotayingire ekintu mpola mpola, no asking her for forgiveness, no trying to soften the what is about to happen to you, because it's coming. You know what goes around comes around. Kati omwami ono ayagala kusavinga family ye, ayagala kusavinga family ye ne future ye, okulaba nti engeri gyagenda okukivaamu mpola. Don't be surprised bwagenda mu exile ngate all from nowhere nadduka n'agenda mu exile, because olaba bano abagayi bagayi bano baba bamanyi kati already waliwo intelligence ndezembulidde. Waliwo a remnant of people about to come into Uganda and remove that government. Kakati batya. kati batandise okutya era mugenda balaba nga bonna mpola 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 mpola. Tumwine nze, I don't know about anybody else, naye sorry to say, but it might be too late. Repent and God will forgive you, but you will pay the consequences of brutalizing and abusing our people and the position we had given you. Sophia?
Yeah, when I see that video, all I remember, Mr. Tumwine, I remember my brothers and sisters, my mother, my grandmother, my uncle, or the neighbor that you shot. You gave directions. Well, what directions? Never shooting abantu, innocent people, unarmed citizens. Never shooting on the 18th and 19th of November 2020. That date will never leave my mind. That date I will remember. That date inspired me to write a poem, just a tribute for them. And that date I will not forget. So it might not be me, it might not be someone that I know to revenge. And that is not, I suppose, the Christian way, because I'm a Christian. Nayenga, you need to pay for the consequences. And maybe the best way would be actually that you are very alive and you continue to be very alive and in good health. I pray for you so that you can see Chitalia, probably. The prisons that you have built, those are the prisons that you guys need
Same
to be in.
here. There's that side, you know.
We cannot fear any longer. You said that it was okay, police were allowed to shoot. Police shot, as the BBC, thankfully, BBC Africa, thankfully, investigated this a couple of weeks ago and showed this documentary. Nayenga Fenna, we lived that, we saw live your men, your mercenaries, your thugs shooting our people, shooting innocent people, making a mother lose her children in the womb, making children die, someone who is not even ready to die, they haven't even lived their life, a 16-year-old, and the mother screaming, and that is not okay. I am sorry. You were
an
not
innocent girl
somewhere. And all they could show us is that
Bambi, she's working.
Yeah. I remember there was a woman that the car drove in, a yellow car, I think branded, yellow car branded this, I don't even want to say the name of the party, the ruling party. A yellow car drove on the street and broke the leg of this woman. Was she rioting? And by the way, if people riot, so what? If people are burning tires on the streets, so what? Because they are angry. How the hell do you think Ugandans are going to express their anger? So, Mr. Tumwine, you're not going to get away with that.
No, you're not.
As long as you are not going to get away with it. I am sorry. That is not okay. You cannot say, oh, who are you praising anyway? You can praise your God, the little semi-God that you've met, but we Ugandans are not going to forget. We remember every single detail of the campaigns, of the elections that took away innocent lives. So Ugandans, my brothers and sisters, do not sleep. Do not, if you want your freedom, you need to take your freedom. You need to demand for your freedom. These people are thugs and are cowards, and they're not going to give us our freedom. Imagine mothers, someone's mother is sleeping in the market. That is not okay.
That is
sleeping
not
in the market
okay.
because they want to have a next meal, because they want to feed their families. But you know what? It's a double-edged sword there. Do you know it's a double-edged sword? Because that, I remember hearing those women in that video, that imagine they are sleeping in the market, but they are worried sick because they've left their girls at home. Their girls are probably going to be raped, sodomized, and molested.
Oh, Soph, don't say, just don't say no more. You
No,
know,
but this is the reality. We need to show
and it's
them.
it's the
Just
reality. You're right. You know, you're very right. It's the reality. So many are probably are being raped right now, are being abused. So many right now in the midst of this COVID. And just to add on to something is that someone just said something into abalokole tatubulira, you know, nabo babadde bo collecting other tithes and offering. Naye nze njagala kubabuulira Uganda temukkiriza Uganda oba abalokole abaliwo be tulina right now okuba taking away from God. Do not compare God on your own human understanding, based on what human being chagens and akola. Tithe and offerings right now should be the one paying for those young women, for those women who are in those marketplaces. The church should be the ones opening their church buildings to put in these people who are in these homes. So nze kambawulire temukkiriza muntu yenna kugamba nti no Katonda ye mubi. Abantu abali mu obulokole nabo bantu ne Sitaani abakozesa ekyo mukimanye. Omuntu omumanya waba alina Katonda based on his fruit ne kyakugamba. Not just kyakugamba, but after kyakugamba chichigwani gwayambye nga Sophia tugambye to help thy neighbor. So with that, let us remind ourselves, we're going to have a little break, a quick break, but let us just remind ourselves as we're about to go into our slides today, our presentation. It starts with you, ladies and gentlemen. Chigenda kutandika mugwe. Chigenda kutandika nga gwe wekyusiza mindset. Gwe okyusiza strategy gy'okozesa. Tusooke tuddeyo back to the ground. Tuddemu wetwetaaga okuddamu okuteachinga family zaffe. Kati ffe we tuba tulina wano nga tukolagana ffenna, nga ffenna tuleeta ideas zaffe buli week ne twogera wano bwe tuti. Nammwe kati kye twogedde kati tugenda bawa ssaawa yammwe egenda kujja mujje mutuweereze audio nammwe muleete ideas zammwe. Obuntu buno tufune engeri gye tubusalaasalamu tubuweereze. Namwe muddeyo mugende muyigirize abantu tukibeereko consistency and constant repetitiveness will change, will help. Kati ffe tubayigirize namwe muddeyo muyigirize someone else. Bu Facebook buno musobola okubuddamu mulundi 100, YouTube rewindinga ne live eno solo rewindinga nze bwenkola sometimes ne rewindinga nensooka nenkachinga app. Naye ffe ekintu kino kiri mu ffe ffennyini. Segujja yabagambye jjo Bannayuganda mulekeraawo nga mulinda government, mulinda Segujja, mulinda Mama Elizabeth, mulinda Kimbugwe. Ne Kimbugwe muntu enkya asobola okubakyukako. Sarah muntu nze nsobola okugenda ne ngamba kati nkivuddeko Uganda entamye sigenda kuddamu ngivuddeko. Bobby,
what will happen then?
Example, yabalaze perfect example. Ku generation yaffe today, omuntu azze aba selling the hope. Nabasula just like that. What do you do when all is said and done? You have to reinvent. Now I have to reinvent me. Sophie is trying to teach us to reinvent ourselves. We are going to take a quick break. Let us have a quick 1-minute break. Go and get yourself a cup of water, something, and come back as we start on emotional intelligence. Get your pen and paper. Get a pen and paper and write these things down, or later on you can come back and screenshot them. Tuyige, tukolagane fena. Thank you so much. You are on the She Women Show every Saturdays with Sarah Nabs and Sophia Sebbi. Return.
Time takes a toll on everyone, they say. Time is merciless, it won't wait for us to change. Time, I am stressing out, I can't figure out what to say. Oh, time, just give us time. Time, looking back on pictures, and I find it hard to see you and myself in places where we used.
Hello, Vanange. Welcome back from the break. Katsubire nti no mufunye ekyokunywa, mufunye ku mazzi oba ka wine. I don't know. Abanywako maybe. Naye I'm not meaning to offend anyone. Maybe abasiraamu abali ku show yaffe. Naye mufunye ku mazzi, tea or coffee or whatever you desire. Naye kati njagala tusobola okola kyokuyita mu topic yaffe gye twagambye gye tubadde twagala okubaleetera, and myself particularly mbadde njagala kubaleetera something to do with Maslow's hierarchy of need. Simanyi oba mwenna mumanyi kwegamba how Maslow's hierarchy of need works. Now, this is a psychological theory. simanyi wakukinyonyola mu Luganda naye nga psychological theory, it's about psychology, it's about your mind, your brain, how you work, how you think, how you feel. It's about the human brain. How does the human think? How does human sort of emotions, where do they come from? Where does the human behavior come from? Especially when it comes to behavior. I think ne emotions, Ugandans, twetaaga okutegeera ebintu bino. Twetaaga okutegeera ebintu bino ne tumanya nti no, you know, Ugandan society or Ugandan people, the Ugandan people, by behaving in such a way because of what? Some things can be explained through psychological models or psychological thinking. So when ngamba about this Maslow's hierarchy, njagala ku sort of baletera one of the creators of this psychological theory, which we call Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs yali created by a man himself called Abraham. I'll bring my slides here. I can't see the screen on what you see, so you forgive me. Okubantino ngenda kudda ku some of my slides here so that I'm able to go through it with you step by step. Mbaletera this lesson. Why? Because njagala tusobole okuba nti twegattira dots okuba nti no tebatugamba bugambi. You know, Ugandans tuli very, I don't know what tuli quite slow as well. Tuli quite slow, and I think tuli slow in improving ourselves. Tuli slow in, you can see it in our society somehow. Buli kimu kwegamba tuli awo tusika, you know, yinza ogenda let's say mu restaurants, for instance, a good example. Ogenda mu restaurant, osaba ekyokulya ekyokunywa, omuntu akulula silipa or akulula ngatto just to serve you, and yet you're the one that's going to bring them custom. So when we go to the slides on screen here, twina slides ezachi. Twina slides is pyramid jemulaba ku screen. That is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs tells us that in order for you to be able to meet your next need, you need to have met your needs from the bottom. So the bottom up, for instance, psychological. Your psychological needs didn't know, are you resting enough sleep? Laba abakyala abali mu market kati abo bagenda kuba moving batya from one level to the next to be able to feel satisfied, to feel like they belong, to feel like they've actually reached their full potential. So food is one of them. So if our society is deprived of food, how are we going to reach the next stage? Kubanga, the basic needs has not been achieved. So the basic needs includes food. You've got water, shelter, rest, sleep, clothing, and reproduction. Ebyo ebintu bwe bibanga tebiri met. Ebyo bwe biba tebiri met. How are we going to be okay in our mindset, in our mental health capacity, in order to fight for ourselves? Kwegamba right now tuli omuntu, the government yeno making sure ntino depriving the community, the Ugandan society of these basic things. Labanjukira ya omuntu yali ajja natugamba COVID yasooka lockdown, natugamba nti kati akawunga mukatema bwe muti ne mwe muti. I mean, come on. Akawunga mukatema mumutya bwe muti ne bwe muti. Akawunga yemere yokka eri Uganda. Imagine, we have beautiful vegetation, we have beautiful weather which is conducive to grow any type of food that we want. Olya tugamba kawunga, that is the best they can do. Nga matoke baga shipping to Europe. Amatoke, our staple food was matoke, kati tuze mu tugamba mu kawunga n'ebijanjalo. Really? So, Bana Uganda, you have to wake up. So, if we could stay on the slide, tuli Tuli ku pyramid. But to staying up pyramid. Pyramid is from the bottom up. Your psychological needs or physiological needs, physiological needs need to be met, first of all, before you go to the next stage. The next stage is safety and security. If we could go to the next slide, the third slide, which is what are the 5 levels? The 5 levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We have physiological, where we need food, water, shelter, rest, sleep, clothing, reproduction. Reproduction, we need to be able to have family, to have babies. So when we go to the safety meaning security and safety. So omusajja ono amakinze sure dictator no government ya dictator amakinze sure nti actually tetuyina security, tuli mu fear. So bw'obanga oli mu fear nga toyina security, to feeling secure in your own home, on the street, bagenda anytime police egenda kukuba migo, anytime bagenda kusaba nguzi, anytime omuntu wafa, anytime abductions zijja, that sort of fear is really explained in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, whereby you will not be able to go to the next level. Togenda genda ku next level yachi, love and belonging. We don't feel loved. We don't feel a sense of belonging. That's why tuduka, we're running away from our home, not because you want to, naye kubanga conducive gundi environment tekuwadde that conducive Uganda environment, tekuwadde conducive sort of space for you to be able to feel love in your country, to have love of country, love of your citizenship, love of your nationality, to be able to go to the next level, to feel satisfied, fulfilled. So when we go to the next level, which is level 4, esteem, if you don't have your physiological needs met, you don't have your safety and security met, you don't have love and feeling love and belonging, is having family, sense of connection, friendships, intimate relationships, okay, you will not be able to go to the next level up, which is self-esteem. Self-esteem here for as Ugandans as a nation, maybe individually we might be different. Kubanga, I know myself, I know I have my family, I have friendships, I have my self-esteem, and probably that's why I'm able to come out and speak to you guys. Kubanga I have my self-esteem in me as a person, as an individual. Na ye chenjagala tuve ku kino ekya individualism, tuvenga tugenda kucha sense of us, a collectivism, a community. So communities of in Uganda, we don't have the self-esteem to fight for ourselves, to spend for ourselves. We don't feel in sense of fulfillment, feeling accomplished. To be hopeless, to feeling a hopelessness, not individual, number a whole community, society. That's why we're unable to stand up to these dictators and these people who are feeling like we're stupid. So when we go to self-actualization, it's about achieving one's full potential. Tetusobola kufiringa our full potential. We know that we are human, we know we matter, we know we have the capacity. We have the capacity to bring about the change that we want in Uganda. We have the capacity. You have the capacity. I have the capacity. As a collective, we have the capacity to feel self-fulfilled so that we can completely achieve our full potential. And that's what Maslow's hierarchy of need really in a nutshell. It's a big theory, a theoretical framework. You can go on and read for yourself. You can reference, you can go to simplepsychology.org. You can go on and have a read about what Maslow's hierarchy of need is. It was a theoretical framework which was done by Abraham Maslow, an American in 1900s, who felt that in order to explain the human self-fulfillment of full potential, you need to go through these stages. And if those stages are not fulfilled, which I so believe that Ugandans, those stages, we're nowhere near, because we're still on level 1. Our basic needs are not met. So how are we going to move on from stage 1 to 3. And that's why we're here to how do we move from stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to really reach our full potential, so that we can really explode and bring about the change that we want. So we are unsettled because of the current socio-economic political situation. Tetuina health, Tetuina, that sort of basic needs, health, social welfare. We cannot be fulfilled unless change comes. We have been stretched to the limits. What are you going to do to ensure that your needs and the Ugandan needs are met? So we must go back to basics. I propose we must go back to basics and reinvent, reevaluate our needs, consider this theoretical explanation of how human beings behave and how our needs can be met. Kubanga, without a framework, and you're not working within a framework, there's no point. There's no point if we cannot work from a framework of understanding why are we here? Why are we in this position? Thank you. Sarah Nobbs, come in.
I have questions.
Oh,
I have questions. Like, I'm sure some of you have questions too, don't you? When I also was learning the Maslow hierarchy of needs, and can we put the pyramid up, please? Our lovely producer, and I big up to the producer who helps to produce this show. We would not do it without him.
Amazing.
Okay. You see where Sophie was, Soph? When we talk about,
yes,
when we are analyzing the pyramid, pyramid tulaga levels and needs, isn't it? So what ambient is psychological, yep. Right at the bottom.
Physiological.
Physiological is the one that's right at the bottom, meaning my health, my body, taking care of myself, my exercises, and all of these things. That is where we're tugambira bana Uganda inti. It is a basic need, the first and foremost, looking at the other levels, right? So when we look at our Uganda, something like health, the hospitals, ladies and gentlemen, tuliwa, ani ateka the institutions zizino. Bamitinga kodi buli department wobo yogede ku safety no yingira mu love and belonging kwagamba each area really has a responsibility, and the responsibility is you, my fellow brothers and sisters. The responsibility starts with you. Physiologically, you're not going to be able to, you can't wait for General Tumine okubanga yageno kuga amanti they will shoot and kill you. I mean, not even him, Onomchale Ali, Minister of Health. She hardly doesn't even know what she's talking about. And she's someone who should be the one to come and tell us and give us information and tell us the ingredients, but they're not. So you have to go out and do your own research. Tomalaga Gamba, because on media, on Natasha's broadcasting television. Nabakugama banaye mugende mu vaccinating. Ne mugende ne mu vaccinating. Mweberere mu na Uganda. Healthy yo very important. Mulina okuranira basic need no. Nzekati, I'm going to flip it. This is not even just about you as an individual, but this is for every single Ugandan out there. If you want to ask someone, what are we, who are we supporting, what parties we should support, blah, blah, blah. People's Simanyizi, what do they call those Gundi, Omuntunajana Babulida there? What's the political word, Soph? There's a political word. okujja manifesto nojja n'ontubuulira manifesto kakati nze nzize ne mbagamba she's manifesto okununula ggwanga lyaffe bannayuganda. These are the basics. Bino kye tulwanira. What is my government, my country doing about my health? What is the health services saying? Safety. You're looking at the security, you're looking at police. Oh, bachala mwabalaba police bwe yatulugunya nekuba abantu emigo ku nguudo. Kwegamba, where is your human sense? Kugamba nti kale omukyala batugaddewo 42 days COVID. Babagamye okukola. Kale, why can't you respect a woman who is selling her fruits and vegetables enough to say banaye mukyala tukwega, get your stuff up? You're not supposed to talk to a human being on a human being level, knowing intinaya hustling just like you, police officer, who's probably not even getting paid. Naye otulugunya omuntu nga tosobola namugambako bulungi okugjawo kagundi ke. Kati bino bye tugamba about safety, love and belonging. Your government who does not care about our culture. We need to get this back. We need to get this back. We need to take care of those people who are supposed to be our security, to keep the country's safety. They treat us that way because we have treated them badly. I was very much in agreement, Sophie, when it came to paying police officers a little bit more money, giving them better living costs and living options, and giving them a better, package in their salaries and things like that. These are the things a government needs to look into and change. I don't know about Ugandans, but our generation, wake up and be a part of a revolution. It won't happen overnight because, as you see, these 5 hierarchy of needs, zikulagawano, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Bogena ku, sorry, can you go a little bit larger a bit? What's the green one, Soph? What's the green? Esteem. Your esteem and your actualization. Oh God, today English in Ghana, yeah, it's about you as a human being. It's about you confidence. Tufuna confidence tuleta wano. Naffe kino twabizimba buzimbi. Sarah, I've not just learned yesterday when we started with Chimbugwe, Chimbugwe Live to come and present and come and talk to people. It's happened over time. But that was my job. That blue and the green is your job as a human being. Love and belonging is your job, and partly your family and your environment. As you're growing up, from childhood to teenager to adulthood. Safety and physiological, it's also part of you. Your government or your leaders of these countries, if they don't come and get involved and give you and provide and these institutions and every area, nga waliwo institution faku area zino bana Uganda, we are depriving ourselves of our human right. Stop depriving yourself of your human rights. It starts with you and me today. Stop making it an excuse. We need to remove this government. And it starts with you and me. And ladies and gentlemen, before things get better, they must get worse. Muchikirize muchigane. Omuna Uganda olina okweranirako your health, your safety, environment yo. Omuntu nobeera ng'otya n'okugenda ku dduuka because otya police okukuba emiggo. mulina okutwala family members bamwe mu balwaliro, mulina okufuna medicine, mulina okugula emmere, babaganye n'okufuluma, babakuba bukubi ku ziboda. That is not meeting your physiological safety, love and belonging, or your esteem. So who is going to fight the people in the government? You and me. They have to be removed. And people who understand such a hierarchy are the people we need to lead us.
So Sarah, omanyi kino ekyogamba ntino, yeah, just my closing comments on this particular one. For instance, ekintu kyogamba ntino, kwega police beating people. And this is exactly because environment and system, our norms are that you need to beat someone to get them to listen. Imagine beating grown up people. Police at one point, I think it was the first lockdown or something. Beating someone, you need to beat someone into action, into listening to you. Why wouldn't you respect? That in itself removes someone's self-esteem, confidence, feeling love, belonging. Or check it, why would you need to beat someone into making, taking action? We need to remove all this stupidity or gamma, this culture of having to beat, physically antagonize and torture. Abductions where people cut off their hands, and okay, it's not necessarily unique to Uganda only, I understand that, but this is exactly Ugandans. If we're saying we're peaceful people, and yet peaceful people have let this happen, and not because you've let this happen because kwegamba muli binyo, but because of lack of confidence and self-esteem. Unfortunately, we are where we are. But we are here. The reason why we keep coming every week or every day, including all why UNN is here, is that we need to be able to educate, empower, motivate, inspire you Ugandans to feel that you can actually have the confidence to stand up to yourself. Police officer tasobola kukuba migo mugongo nga you're continuing to run, not turning around and say, excuse me, do you mind? This is my body. It's my right. And I'm going to stand up and say, do not disrespect me. We need to turn now against them.
Ladies and gentlemen, tugenda onto the next slide of emotional intelligence. Now, the more I'm deeping the Maslow hierarchy, tujja komawo twagala tukwate amasimu gammwe tubabuulirizeeko. So we'll conclude with emotional intelligence next week. Naye Bannayuganda, mutuweereze your audios, mutuweereze amasimu gammwe. We're going to take like 10 audios and 5 phone calls. Abalala, you are free to send us an email at hello@unn.com for your contribution. If you want to have more time to give us your suggestions, to just give us what you think about what we've spoke about today in today's show, and if you need support. Also, in addition, we want to hear from your mind, your spirit, and your soul. Kiki bali ku mutima. One of the things is therapeutic for our change is okujjako buli kimu ekituluma ku mutima. That is the first form of therapy, and we're about to give it to you here for free. When people pay us here £50, £60 an hour. So, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What would you say, Sophia, is the most important one to you?
Well, Sarah, actually, I mean, I don't think there's any one important one. 1 second. I hear an echo.
It's in your thing.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
WhatsApp.
Sorry,
what did you say, Sophia? I can hear you now.
Yeah, okay. I was saying that, well, I think, first of all, I agree with Maslow, because when you think about the physiological needs, I would agree with that pyramid, because when you think about the need for sleep, Sarah, sometimes if I don't get enough sleep, I can't function. I can't function through the day. Then I'm completely confused. I am completely disorganized. I feel restless, and I feel really, really unproductive, to be honest. So I would agree that you need to really be able, that with the Maslow, is that you need to have your physiological needs met first before you can go forward. I was looking at some comment. I think it was Maureen Zawed saying that our growth was stunted, first of all, from day one. It's stunted from our upbringing, but also remember that our parents' growth is stunted in the first place. So they have no other way of teaching us different, of providing for us, because they don't know how to provide for us better in terms of our growth and development, maybe emotional intelligence, maybe emotional well-being, warmth, and not to use corporal punishment as form of punishment, you know? So that in itself, the self-esteem, if the parent, the home environment didn't have the, the self-esteem to nurture you into a confident human being, to stand up for your rights and yourself, and all the time, let's say it's a dictatorial home environment. In fact, I'll be doing some podcasts on UNN Radio, where I'm talking about how family is just like politics. Look at the family as just like politics, whereby your home environment, there's a leader, there's a father and mother or parent who is leading, who is saying, this is what we need to do. If your home environment was always based on dictatorship, of course you're going to probably grow up as a child or an adult into adulthood, where you feel like you need to be dictating to people what to do. You're not giving people their own capacity to do for themselves. And this is where, as a culture, as a community in Uganda, we grew up whereby things are done to us and not with us.
Hello? Sophie, you went off there for a second.
Or did I go off?
Yeah.
I thought I was still.
No, go on, continue.
I'm saying that. Yeah. No, I went off because I'm done. I'm waiting for calls. I don't know, comments, calls.
Okay.
Let's sort of
you were on
those.
There was another slide, Sophie. Can we go on to the slides of the Uganda? I think it was slide number 3. Our producer. Yeah. While we are waiting for your phone calls, Wanangene audios, my producer when they're ready, let us also discuss this small thing. There's another one. I think it's the next slide after. There's the one after that says Uganda on it.
Okay. I think it's the last one. Yeah, where I'm saying, what are you going to do? Yeah, slide 4.
Yeah, let's go into a bit more detail on this one while we're waiting for your audios.
Yeah, slide 4, I was just really teasing out and saying, what do you think you are? What do you think you're doing, or we as Ugandans are doing? What do we need to do to be able to improve our pyramid of Maslow's hierarchy of needs? How can we, as a collective, first of all, consider our socio-economic and political environment? What is it, you as an individual, you can easily write down things and say, look, this is the pyramid, this is where I am, and this is where I think my Uganda is, and how can I get from level 1 to level 2, or how can I get from level 2 to 3? You must be going through these levels in order for you to be able to fully feel fulfilled. You cannot skip. That's what Maslow's argument is. You're not, which is a psychological, theoretical sort of explanation of our human behavior, human nature, that you cannot be fulfilled. You cannot be in level 2 when all your needs, physiological needs, are not met. Just like I told you an example, if I don't have enough sleep, I'm going to be grumpy, I'm going to be unproductive, I'm going to be completely confused, I won't concentrate, and I will not be able to do anything. This is exactly. So if I haven't eaten properly, I will be going through exactly the same thing. If I haven't had shelter, let's say people are homeless, kati abachala bali mu market, do you think they're going to be productive? Waking up the next day to do what? To sell their fruits and vegetables? Probably not.
Well, they
And
can't.
that would
They're
be
in
probably
lockdown
all a waste
anyway.
of time. Yeah, because first of all, in our Ugandan society, we give too much emphasis on money. And what I want people to think about is that we cannot think about money as the end or all. We place so much value on money, and we have placed less value on our morals and values and culture, and because morals and values are what really define us as a people, as Ugandans, not because we money and properties. Yes, that will come, but it will only come after we've really, really, really been able to say, no one can come in and say, Ugandans move over, indigenous people move over, we're going to be the ones that rule you. Like what happens exactly? What's happened for the last 40, 50 years? Someone else has come in. Someone has come in from out of nowhere. I suppose we knew, but then they've sort of come in and camouflaged with the society of Uganda and taken on our identity as a Ugandan. And this keeps happening. And look at our identity. We need identity cards. We need passports. I mean, come on, we need sort of our Ugandan passport is on the side. It's been removed. And now we'd have East African passport. Why is it the Ugandans are the ones that have been taken advantage of to this extent? I know there are other African countries that have had dictators for like 40, 50 years, 60 years. Zimbabwe is one of them, until the man died. But I am thinking about the Ugandan situation. I'm talking about the Ugandan situation at the moment. Let's ask ourselves, why is it that it is us, the Ugandan society, Ugandan people, because of our niceness? We are so nice. Oh, you are so nice, Ugandans. Colonizers come in, take over. We have dictators, they come in, take over. I mean, we must step up. We must
step it
reinvent
up.
ourselves.
Nze
Yeah.
nsigala kuki mbabuulira bannayuganda nga leero bwe tubaleetedde hierarchy of needs. These are the things, before we even start going any further okwogera ku bintu ebirala, until Ugandans, we change the current social, economic, political situation, we are going nowhere, no further. If you agree to staying in a regime for another 5 years as you're being oppressed, we're not going any further. We need change. I'm crying for Ugandans. We cannot be fulfilled unless change comes. Change needs to come today. Change is not to wait for Seguja. Change is not to wait for Mr. Bobby Wine. Change is you saying enough is enough. Change started with me. When I made a decision 9 months ago to want to know more about the leadership of my country, I took it upon myself as a Christian woman who's doing fine for herself here in the UK. I can forget about Uganda and take care of my children and live my life in Mukamoli Kange between my work and my church. Me, I love God, and no one can take me away from that. Nze Mukama yansustaining nze mbagamba all the time. You see here Sarah here, but Sarah's not made up for who she is today. A lot has come from the back to her to come here to share her soul and her spirit with other Ugandans, because it's brought us, this is what should bring us together. What brought me together is having this change that we need in government. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not right to have a government to be in power for 40 years. You need new ideas, new creative ideas. You need new ways of doing things, new strategies. Generations have changed. Museveni's regime are old. There is a youth of remnant of youth. We have technology. Things have changed and they need change. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to cry out for change. It's madness to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Mwe omuntu ayita omulokole n'ogamba Katonda ajja kunnyamba naye nga tetolina ky'okolawo. Mukama ekigambo kitugamba it's dead. Omuntu agamba nti Bible is just a Bible, is just a book, then you don't understand spiritual things. The same way waliwo ebintu mu culture yaffe bye twali supposed okukola ne tutabikola. That's why Museveni asobola okujja n'atukola by'atukoze. Because singa tutambula ne culture first before governance, mwali badde musobola okutegeera nti Museveni would not be in power today. Culture teyali mukkiriza, because wali baddewo a group of elders who come together ne boogera ku nsonga z'ensi. Omusajja ne bamugjawo. Byebyo ebintu bye tutryinga okubayigiriza mpola mpola ku UNN, naye tebisobola kukyuka nga ebintu tebikyuka. You have to change your mindset. Mutusonyiwe nti tulina okukibeera nga tukyogerako, naye mindset eyo okujjako Museveni kyetaagisa obeere ng'okiwulira every single day in your mind, nga gwe wennyini agamba okay, mbadde nkola ki kati kankyuse, nali nzuka ssaawa 4 ez'ekiro ez'akumakya, kati ngenda kuzuka ssaawa 11 neeweeyo hours 2 nga neeyigiriza ebintu by'ensi, ntegeere ensonga zaffe ez'ensi. Banaye ndowooza muweerezaayo kati audios, kati katuwulirizeeko nammwe tuwulirize bye mwogera bye mugamba, mutubuulire ebiri ku mutima gyammwe. Kwa naffe tubeera wano, we're not only coming formally but we come openly with an open heart. We bring our spirit and our souls here. We tell you our personal lives and things. Fit where you are, yo, for that change. Don't let no one tell you to just being part of this conversation will help somebody in about 10, 20 years' time. Thank you.
Hi, Sarah and Sophia. Thank you for the program. We really appreciate your efforts. I think the only way we can get back on our feet is to help one another, stand for one another. We've become strangers to our own people. We've become enemies to our own people.
Yeah.
Even though we're supposed to reach out to the community, where we're supposed to reach out to those ones in need, we don't see a reason why we should help them. We don't see why we should help them. I think we should get back to the community thing, whereby every problem was our concern. A road that was not worked on was our concern. Those that didn't have food was our concern, and somehow we resolved issues as a community. Today, we are strangers. We leave for work, come back in the night. We don't even know who our neighbors are. We don't know who needs help. We don't know who needs counseling, who needs food, who needs help, whose child has not gone to school, because this is what exactly the government has made us of. It has divided us in a way that there's a big problem that needs help. Well, let's get back as community. Let's get back as people that share the same problems, and we can resolve our own problems. Let's get back to that state. Maybe somehow there'll be effective change in our communities. Sensitization is needed. As I communicated earlier, we're social workers, we're at home seated. I mean, this is a time we're supposed to use a task force network and do what? Help bring people in the community, see how people can be helped, those that have more, how they can share with the rest. I mean, so much. I'm sorry, it's been a long audio, but I think it's so much. We need to get back on our feet, work together. For we are many, but we are one body in Christ. If we come up with that and believe in ourselves, there will be effective change. There will be change. Before even we think of any change from government or anything, we are supposed to help one another and become that God wants us to be. And we can move on. I mean, people have churches, and sometimes they're like, people go in churches to pray when they're hungry, when they need food, they are dying, they need medical, they need medication, they need medical attention, and they're not helped. I mean, these are things that churches would be looking out, institutions should be looking out and helping them. Somehow, I think we need to encourage one another to become those people, or the people that we're supposed to be.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bana tubadde tubasaba bwe muba mutukubira mutuwe ku mannya gammwe ne gye mukubira from, so that we are able to acknowledge you. And thank you so much, our first caller for today. That was very, very powerful. Thy neighbor. The change starts with us. The change starts with you and me. Us coming here today, coming together. I started our prayers. We need to pray. I'm praying for the country. And I want you guys to join me. Now, more people to show interest, so that if there's a demand, I can come on live. There is a couple of people who have come to me and said, Sarah, we need to pray. I was asking for 1 million women, project 1 million, but we had to put that down because it's in the charity tabs on social media. Naye tukomawo. Let us do what we can. We lose nothing to pray. You lose nothing, whatever your religion is, to pray. So why not pray? Whilst we are praying, we act as well. Musajja tumujjeko. tusabire ba soldiers abagenda okujja, tusabire abantu abo abaagala okutulwanira, abagamba ffe tulwanire eggwanga lyaffe. Okay, next order, please. Don't forget your name and where you're calling from.
Greetings to all bamikwano bannange leero nze nzizereeti sitegedde topiki ebebadde ku kyo bebadde ku ki bati mmanyi bagamba mbuno okola ki better be late than never naye nowaayo wadde ndi late naye era kale ka ŋŋende naafunayo kye naaba nfunye naye nga mbalamusizaako bamikwano mwebale tuweereza mwebale kubeerawo mwebale kuyimirira mu byonna mukama akibabalire. Ono Florence nzizereeti ate era nga ndi mukamoli kubeera ndi bize ye.
Thank you, Florence. Thank you. Atuulize a few more. But sorry, I think there's been a bit of a technicality. It's just loading, sorry. Just give us a few seconds. Mwabaze late mu classy kati mulina okurewindinga show. Okay, go ahead.
Hi Sarah, Sophia, good evening. How are you? Bannange mwebale kutusomesa bamikwano mwebale kutusomesa wabula Mukama abawe kye musinga okwagala abawangaazi mubeerewo musobole okutusomesa paka tunaayiga tukwata mpola naye tujja kubikwata wampaka twagala oba tetwagala naye nga Abannayuganda twetaaga okwekkirizaamu okusooka ne twekkiririzaamu tusobola omanyi abasinga obungi beesuulirayo gwa naggamba nti ate kati nze kikiyinza okwongerako nnyo ku struggle but anything oba katono katya anyone out there okkiririzeemu omanye nti oba katono nsobola okukakolesa Museveni yatumanya nti tetwekkiririzaamu kyova nti atuzanyidde nnyo ku bwongo mumale kutuweereza bamikwano mumale kutusomesa ffe weetuli katuule tusome tuyige ate tubiteeke mu nkola ebyo bye mutusomesa byomukwano. Helen Dubai.
Thank you, Helen. Helen no tukwetaaga.
Hi ladies, musiibye mutya kansubire nti musiibye mulungi. Mwebale kutuweereza lwakuba bya nnaku n'ensonga otunuulira omukyala nga maama wo mutuufu ng'ali mu kusula mu katale naye nga mu katale eyo gye balina okusula nalwankubadde COVID. But was it necessary omuntu omugamba nti musule mu katale musiibe mu katale bakola batya as in to shower to wash bannange jjukira abakyala balina families ze balina okulabirira. Oh my God. Ennaku etuuka n'enkuluma n'owulira nga toyagala kwongera yadde ekigambo naye waliwo olaba nga kisusse maama wo n'ankeera ku makya mbu bamusibidde mu katale gy'alina okusula gy'alina okuliira everything bannange naye nga kiki nnyo covid really covid naye nga tusabirigane cause nothing left kye tulina okukola n'ekyokulala teri kuleaning on anybody it's you to stand teri gwogenda gamba nti woowe no teri ayamba oh my god
Hey ladies, how are you? Thanks for that show. Serenades and Sophie. Mugamba ki? Balika bulungi. This is Princess Masuna. Kaakati nze ngenda kusooka kwogera ku bakyala abo bambi abadde beebase mu katale. Naye oba gavumenti ya Museveni bw'eraba ebintu ng'ebyo yo tekwatibwako nsonyi kulaba nga abantu baafuga bayita mu mbeera ng'eyo. Omukazi agenze n'agamba nti mbutuufu abaana baffe tubaleka mayumba nga bw'omanyi e Uganda tebamanyi oba abaana bwe babalekayo babeera mu mayumba oba tebabeeramu oba nabo bakwata amakubo amalala ne bagenda. So bannange simalina kumanya Museveni bannange engeri bw'alabamu abantu ng'abo oba ye bw'alaba ebintu ng'ebyo yetakwatibwamu wadde n'ekisa mu mutima gwe okulaba ng'abantu bayita mu mbeera eyo. Omukazi ne batuuka okwebikka amakutiya ne basula mu katale. Kale it's so ashaming bannange. Eno gavumenti kyowa bannange leading Uganda. Nze simanyi na kumanya bano abantu they are not human. I'll keep on saying these people are not human. Simanyi oba balina na mitima ki oba baakulira wa abantu abatalina mukisa wadde ate nga even nabo bazadde nabo bantu naye kyewuunyisa okuba nga tebalina mukisa wadde n'akamu. Kyewuunyisa. Kaakati n'oyo journalist oyo bannange singa mubadde kumpi mbadde nja muyisaamu empiziri kuba tosobola kukwata abantu ng'abo n'oba interviewinga wenna ng'olinga oba nga ali so concerned n'otuuka n'obagamba nti tetubaagaliza ekiro ekirungi mu kkutiya. Tubaagaliza ekiro ekirungi mu kkutiya. Can you imagine? Bannange nze oyo oba basomera wa simanyi these days oba babasomesa ki oba abamu simanyi na kumanya nze mbadde nja muyisaamu empi kuba that's not being professional. Simanyi na kumanya oba Abannayuganda ennaku zino nabo I don't know how I can call it. Naye abajournalist abamu banyiiza ng'obula bayisa.
They're not sensitive.
N'ekitala Serenades, don't waste your time because Eitumwine doesn't deserve to be called Mr. He doesn't deserve it. Teyetaaga namuyita Mr. That guy is a zombie. He's a vampire. He's a walking dead. We don't even deserve to be called, even Museveni doesn't deserve to be called president of Uganda,
It's true.
Teyetaaga namuyita Eitumwine. I can't even call him Mr. because he doesn't deserve. Naye obwo obugadi bwabwe bwonna bwe balimu simanyi nti obuvugako ka video obwedda akatambula social media yonna simanyi resigninga is handing over. We don't give a damn oba resigning oba okola kigenda byogera because we know you very well. You guys will know you very well. Temuyina kye mutugamba, temuyina kye mutugamba kuba omuntu eyavaayo n'ogamba nti police has a right to kill, ng'okimanyi you're well trained soldier n'oyogera ekintu ng'ekyo ate kati naawe this time ovaayo otubuulira kasasiro nti simanyi nsi oyogerako. Oh my god, tumwine beeramu naawe totukooya natukooya tutamanyi obugadi bwomwe bwonna bwe mulina naye nga you're not going to stop us from what we are planning to do. You guys temugenda na like temugenda kustopinga plans zaffe. Either you like it or not, tumwine we are coming for you. Ate tukwagala ng'oli mulamu nga tonnafa ng'okyaliwo. Temujja tusiriwaza bwe mutyo, temujja tusiriwaza. You guys mutuyisiza mu bintu bingi nnyo. We've gone through a lot, you guys. So bwe mujja wano nga mutandika otuzannyira ku bwongo waffe, it's like as if tetutegeera. Tetugenda kukkiriza. Mukole obugadi bwammwe bwonna bwe mukola, do your dirty things byonna mubikole, but remember one thing, we are coming for you guys. Ekyo kyo tekujja coming for you. Kale bambi tuweereza. Thank you so much, ladies. We love you.
We love you too.
Tuweereza era you and thanks so much for the good work. Yeah, Mukama abakuume. God bless you all. Princess Nasona loves you.
Nasona tukwagala nnyo nnyabo, weebale nnyo.
Yes, thank you very much, Princess Nasona. Tukwagala nnyo, we love you too. Thanks.
Where are the men? Today no men came down. One more.
Mjebaliko bannyabo mwebale kuweereza, mwebale okuweereza puroguramu y'abakyala. Nze mbadde nteesa nti ffe ng'abakazi b'e Uganda ate tuleme kubanga tutya nnyo embeera, kubanga bwe tutya ennyo embeera omusajja ono kyava atunyigiriza. Kirungi nnyo okusabumitinga era n'okubanga muwuliriza abakulembeze, naye kino kiri too much. Tosobola kubanga olina abaana bo famire yo n'oba ng'osula mu katale naawe n'okikkiriza. Omusajja ayongera kututeekako bintu bitunyigiriza. So nze mbadde nteesa nga bannayuganda tuyina okubanga tugolokoka. Kwa bannange bino ebintu tomanyi na Uganda waweegwa, tomanyi nti babakkiriza mu Katonda oba bali mu kibi, naye ebintu biri awo. Kubanga senga tubadde nti tuli mu Katonda, senga waliwo ebintu Katonda byatukolera byetukwatako, kuba nsuubira Mukama bino tabikkiririzaamu. Sarah Nabami bayiba nze njagala kwegattako mu kusaba, kubanga nation ya as Uganda yeetaaga Mukama atubikkula obwongo n'okutegeera, atuwe amagezi kuba embeera gye tulimu, era nga nti tuyina we twekutte ate nga tufa. Tetufa COVID kyokka, tufa enjala, obwavu, tuli awo tetutegeerekeka.
Obwongo
buli so hard. Olaba eno nze nsawudde, naye bw'oliwo okkiriza abantu beno bakunyigirize, tebakubala mu kamuntu, naye bw'obalaga nti nange I have right to live no matter siri mu nsi yange, naye eyo right yange Mukama ye yagimpa okubanga enjoy myself. Nti bakuta naye bw'osabumitinga bye baagala bakunyigiriza,
That's right. Oh, banaye mwebale nnyo audio zonna for today's show. Naye njagala mubeere ne confidence okwogera more, okwogera opinions. Ate most of you namba mugimanyi. Kati namba musole n'okutandika at the beginning ku ka audio akamu nga twogedde ku one topic nawe nolet ffe ku Saturday bakyala baffe, this is our show nga ffe basajja balina okumanya ffe twogera buli kimu everywhere so mubeere free muweereze ebiri ku mutima gwammwe oba mwagala musobola okutuweereza ebbaluwa n'owandiika ebbaluwa lyo goyagala ekiri ku mutima ogimpeereze oba ne offline tusobola okukola well-being meeting namwe muntu ayagala kumeetinga Sophie or kumeetinga myself to discuss further things that we can do together okuyamba okununula eggwanga. Twagala she program ebere part of us. Producer wange atugambye nti we can definitely start prayers. Kati mwe abayagala okujoininga prayers teziriiko religion. Ekyo njagala kibabuulira leero. Oba oli Musiraamu, oba oli Muhindu, oba oli Protestant, oba oli Catholic, prayer is spirit. God is a spirit. Religion mukimanyi is man-made. Nze sikola religion, nina relationship with my God in heaven, my Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I know that if he changed my life, he can change yours too. So please, all of you, get ready. I'm going to make a final announcement, hopefully by end of the weekend, by Monday, to Tandika Project 1 million prayers. We are 1 million women to come together to pray at the midnight hour. But let me sort out the logistics. And men, of course, the men can join, but it's Project 1 million. We want 1 million people who come together to pray in time around the globe. Mukama yakinteekako era kikyaliwo, but logistics. Kati by Monday tugenda kusobola, I think, to do something. So, Banange, this has come to the end of the show. Sophia, conclude and say your goodbyes.
Bana Uganda, njagala kubeebaza okuba nti no you've been open enough, abasinga okuba open. You are open enough to listen, to learn, to contribute to our collective understanding and learning of getting ourselves out of this mess. It is a whole mess that we're in. Nayenga, we will come out of this mess, just like Princess Nasuna said. We need to be a collective, just like Maureen said in the comments, just like Helen said, just like Mara said, just like Sarah. There are all of you ladies who have been contributing to this, and all of you men who have contributed to us learning today and yesterday and the day before and tomorrow. We thank you, we salute you, we appreciate you. I want to pay special thanks to Wane production team. Very a special thanks. Thank you very much for all of you who have done the flyers, the videos, the producing. I thank all the soldiers abakoze contribution, you know, ababadde ku 2 days ago show. Thank you so much for your bravery, and continue to be brave and be have your self-esteem high, because we're behind you. Naye njagala to all of Ugandans, particularly for this show, njagala for you to remember this. We have to stop the importance just one thing to keep you going and think about for the next coming weeks until our next show. We have to stop thinking about the importance of money. We need to stop putting importance on money. Money is simply a paper. The only transaction you need is between you and another person, which is the relationship. You need to be able to put importance on a relationship between you and another person for you to be able to go further up wherever you want to go to improve your life. I say this because remember barter trade. When we used to do barter trade, how did we exchange whatever you needed? Before money came, before the paper money came, twali tukola tutya, twali tu exchanging nze kankuwe omunyo ompe sukali, nze kankuwe kasooli ompe muwogo, nze kankuwe amatooke gwompe maybe ompe amenvu. We did that, and we did that successfully for a very long period of time. Kati bw'oteeka emphasis ku money and paper, ogenda ku losing the relationship side of things with your community, with your family, with your friends. And because of that, that importance we've placed so much on money as something to take us to our height, this is why we're here where we are. Kubanga ngamwe bwe mulabye abantu balwanira bifo mu parliament, abantu balwanira bifo okusobola okubeera ne paycheck ya money. Abantu balwanira ba MPs bonna abaliyo balwanira bifo basobole okuba nga bafuna that paycheck because of money. Kati gwe lowoozaamu bw'onooba nti oli otadde money in front of you before relationships, nga tocaringa for thy neighbor, nga tocaringa what the neighbor's children, their neighbor's children's safety, the community safety, nga buli kimu kiri based on money, kyova olaba a lot of corruption we are in deep trouble. We are in deep trouble anyway. Naye nga mbasaba singa ffenna tutryinga to change our mindsets, breaking chains of our mindsets that we place more on relationships than money and material things, we are going to be far. We are going to have self-fulfillment beyond our imagination. And please trust yourself, trust your instinct, and not another person. Thank you. Have a good evening, good night. Abafiiriddwa, especially those of our colleagues, Hanifa, we pray for you. Our thoughts are with you and your family. And bonna abafiiriddwa tubasabira, and our thoughts are with you. So good evening, good night. Sophia S. from the She. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Sophie. We shall see you next week. May God truly bless you and for joining us. Sophie will be joining me in the prayers as well, so she'll be there. My fellow Ugandans, all of you who have lost your friends, your family members, we know some of you viewers, we have lost your families. You have lost your families. Hani, we are sending our sincere condolences to your family today and your whole entire family. And it's so, so sad, especially when you're not able to say goodbye and you didn't have the opportunity to say your sincere goodbyes and bury them. But the Almighty God is strengthening you today. Thank you. All of you who have also lost your families and your friends, may God continue to strengthen you. Today, I'm not going to give you a long outro, because I think I've managed to say most of the things that were in my heart today. We need change, and change starts with you and me. We cannot keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. So my fellow Ugandan, called today a day to reset yourself. Let's press the reset button. Ku gwanga lyaffe, gwanga is you and me. Gwanga lisobola kukyuka nga mwe temukyuse. Information is important, but it's nothing if someone does not give it, if someone does not put it in a book. If someone like Chimbugwe has an idea and says, let's come and start an online television so that we Ugandans all over the globe can meet in one place, bring new ideas, new strategies. That is the generation and the world of .com Jetulimu olunaku. Mbebaza mwenna ababeera ku UNN ne mutulaba ne mutusupportinga ne mutwagala. Nebaza abantu bonna abakola mu UNN. Nobody in UNN is a coin. We all have given ourselves for the sake of our country, and we want you to do the same. Thank you, Ugandans. We love you, as I love my she ladies. We're going to start to pray. Era mwenna abaagala okusaba mubombardinge Chimbugwe mumugambe tuweereze details ffe twagala kusaba. Tugenda kutandika ku radio next week or in the next coming week. We'll announce it on the page. Thank you so much. Please get yourselves ready. Mugende mfunire akokunywa akamangu. Shoya this evening with our very own Madame President Elizabeth and Paul, with this and that and the reading. God bless you and see you next week. Have a good weekend.